Never to be seen again. The Titanic leaves port at Southampton, England, to begin its voyage on April 10, 1912. Captain Edward J. Smith Wright and Percy Hugh Walter McElroy stand aboard the Titanic as it travels between Southampton, England and Queenstown, Ireland, just one day into its voyage, and 3 days before it would sink, April 10, 1912. The harrowing picture of the iceberg suspected of having sunk the Titanic, as photographed by the steward of a passing ship the morning after the Titanic sinking. The other ship had not yet received word about the Titanic sinking, but the steward reportedly saw red paint smeared along the base of the iceberg. 2 lifeboats carried Titanic survivors towards safety, April 15, 1912. A lifeboat full of Titanic survivors are picked up by the Carpathia, April 15, 1912. Known as the Titanic Orphans, French brothers Michael and Edmund were left parentless after their father died on the ship. The iconic picture of a newspaper boy selling copies of the Evening News telling of the Titanic sinking outside the office of the White Star Line, the company that launched the Titanic, in London a day after the ship went down, April 16th. Emotional crowds wait outside the White Star Line office in order to hear the latest news on the disaster. New York, between April 15th and April 18th. A desperate crowd awaits the return of survivors of the Titanic sinking. In Southampton, England, April 12th. The Titanic sitting near the dock at Belfast, Northern Ireland, soon before starting its maiden voyage. Just like in the movie, the first class lounge aboard the Titanic, as seen soon before the vessel took off in 1912. Molly Brown, a survivor, an American socialite whose husband struck it rich in the mining business. Molly Brown was known for her flashy hats and charming personality. While she enjoyed her wealth, she spent her life giving back, advocating for rights of women and children. John Jacob Astor was a victim of the Titanic. As the richest passenger aboard the Titanic, real estate developer John Jacob Astor was worth $87 million when he met his fate on the sinking ship. When rescuers recovered his body, they found $2,400 on him. Travelling as the second-class passengers, the 8 musicians on the Titanic are perhaps some of the most honoured victims of the tragedy. At an incredible just 2 months old, Milvian Dean was the youngest survivor, also the longest living survivor of the Titanic. She died in 2009. Dean, her older brother and parents boarded the doomed ship as third-class passengers. The British family made plans to emigrate to Wichita, Kansas, where Dean's father was going to co-own a tobacco shop with relatives. Some conspiracy theorists blame J.P. Morgan for the sinking of the ship. There's a theory out there that J.P. Morgan sank the Titanic in order to pave the way for the establishment of the Federal Reserve Bank. The bank's creation was reportedly opposed by millionaire John Jacob Astor and also co-owner of Macy's. These wealthy men did indeed lose their lives, which sank the Titanic.